So who or what calls me? Almost all of us have a journey to make, a sacred journey, a path to follow. Some may already be on this journey, but some of us are still patiently waiting to start. This journey may be the most important thing you have ever done. Call it the call of God, the call of the great mystery, call it the call of the Spirit, or the call of the wild, or call it a catastrophe. Call it whatever you like, but a call of some kind is hidden within all your troubles sometimes. The purpose of this call may be to draw out something hidden and wonderful within you. But I should tell you now that the journey ahead may not always follow a clear path. With every step to take, the problems that can be solved. When a journey begins, it can be unnerving and outright scary even. Many new questions and concerns come up. But despite these complications, the new journey can also be the great mystery at work within you. It can be your spirit within you coming out. Many of us have heard a great deal about the life of the Spirit, where we would have more holy thoughts and deal with our problems in spiritual ways. It can seem like a life only for saints and Buddhists, but in reality, the life of the Spirit is simply a life of purpose. Part of the journey is naming that journey, making it ours. Purpose could be a lot of different things: integrity, justice, meeting the needs of others around us, love. Naming is an important part of this process. If I say that my journey and purpose is love, for example, then I am willing to work hard for it, sacrifice for it, and do what I need to do. Watching your life change can be a result of your purpose. And making decisions is easier when you know what your overall purpose is. Finding your community even is easier when you can see others with the same purpose. And purpose can change as your journey branches out in new directions. I'm sure most of us have had our purposes evolve throughout our lives. For me, I started out my journey going in one direction with one purpose and found a deeper purpose along the way. When I started seminary, I had no intention of becoming a minister, and I made that abundantly clear to my family, colleagues, professors, anybody who listened. I knew I was a Methodist at a Methodist seminary, and I wanted a degree in world religions and interfaith dialogue. My plan was to teach world religions at the college level. I was positive this was my path. I claimed this path even as I began to struggle with what I truly believed. After a few theology classes, I found I did not actually believe in Christianity. My struggling led me to this Universalist church, where I found people on a similar journey, with similar purposes. I could question my beliefs and grow spiritually. After graduating with a Master of Theology, I struggled all summer with who and what calls me. I decided to go back to seminary for my Master of Divinity, but still planned on teaching. I was not going to be a minister. I was asked to give a message here a few times, then a few more times. Even though I enjoyed this very much, I was still positive I was not minister material, and I was not being called to be one. Over the course of the next 2 years, I felt a spiritual awakening, a calling, if you will. I went to New Mexico and found a new belief in the Holy Mystery, separate from my old Christian beliefs. The more I studied, and the more time I spent here with all of you, the louder this question of who and what calls me became. But there were hard times too. I asked for a sign, which never felt like it came. I searched for meaning, and the UU answers felt unsubstantial. I came to church every Sunday expecting to get that right message, and I was just going to hear it and know what I should do. But it didn't come that easy. I wanted to share the world religion information with a class of eager undergrads. One summer I talked to everyone I knew, professors, fellow students, friends, relatives, trying to identify my journey. Finally, one day after giving the message here, I hesitantly decided to take the path for the Master of Divinity, a major degree for ministers. So I started a journey, but still felt adrift on my purpose. If not the Christian God I grew up with, then what? Who? And what kind of relationship does that entail? I knew that I belonged, in varying senses, to my family, to my congregation, to my community, and this religious tradition. But these are all horizontal expressions of a vertical dimension. These are all my peers, and we are all on the same horizontal plane. There is another plane, I believe, a transcendent dimension, and I wanted to get back in touch with that. I know not everyone shares my view, but I believe I belong primarily to a God who requires me to live in right relationship with others. This God is the transformative, sustaining, and redemptive power in the universe made known through relationships. This God is both source and destiny, preceding and continuing beyond my brief existence. It is worthy of devotion and praise. It has stayed a claim on my heart and my mind, and I accept that it has a loving intention for me and all living creatures. Part of expressing this loving relationship with the Holy Mystery has become my work with civil rights, in particular LGBTQ rights. It's part of having a relationship with the Holy Mystery for me. I need to recreate that relationship the best I can with those in need in our own community. And this church has backed me up on that purpose over and over again. So I'm not confined to the task of answering questions regarding my purpose alone. We have ventured boldly and together to answer the question of God by sharing that experience, whatever we call that experience, with our worlds. People want to belong to something bigger than their personal selves. This may be surprising, but many people are tired of searching. They don't mind searching if they find something, but lately a lot of people seem to be coming up empty. We can search with them for the common ground we all share. One person cannot properly do that alone. We can best do this work in relationship with each other and with those sources that sustain us as individuals and as a people. And in this dance of life, we experience steps forward and steps backward. At times in my life, I have experienced those two steps back, experiences as deficits, sometimes problems to be overcome. But they're part of the journey. I do not believe that oppression and suffering are redemptive in any meaningful sense. Your pain is not somehow okay because you learned something from it. But suffering does add depth. I would not be the person I am today without the challenges I have experienced. I would not be able to empathize with others with different life experiences. Hope comes from the way you handle challenges, not from the challenges themselves. Let me give you another example from my own life. I am no longer immediately identified as a lesbian. I'm no longer identified as a woman. As a man, I now see our community in many new ways. When my wife and I go to the auto repair shop, the technician always looks at me, never at her. No one says anything if I cut in line, but heaven forbid if a woman, an African American, an Arab person, or anyone different cuts in line. I know. I've tried it. As a white middle-class heterosexual man, people see me as someone with privilege. No one says anything if I cut in line. And I have encountered some new categories in recent years. I'm not sure how this happened, but there seems to be this consensus that I'm an elder. With age has come some physical limitations that have heightened my awareness of ability as a category of experience. So I have the experiences and memories of a woman, a lesbian. Without that, the world would look like a very different place. And my past problems couldn't ever be totally fixed, but I could use them to connect. We are called by and toward a vision of the loving community, but we are also called out of and from our own experiences. We can ask, how can we use our experiences of being pressed down to connect with empathy and tolerance to those who seem messy and somehow difficult? How do we practice solidarity, an important part of love, in the real world? How can we use our own experiences and not just lump them into one big bag of problems? Can we find meaning in our own big bag of problems and turn them into meaning and peace? This is the calling I talked about in the beginning. We are called by the Holy Mystery, or the universe, or our communities, to show that loving relationships with each other and with others in our world is what's important. This is our journey. This is our purpose. How can we all have the same journey, the same purpose? Clearly, we're all individuals with our own past. But I believe that for us here, part of that path is connecting with whatever transcendent experience of love that we have, and with each other, and with our world. So we have our path together, but what of our individual paths? We long for certainty, a blueprint we can confidently follow. What we get are only glimpses. We often find this process of finding and accepting our place in the world work. Diversity work, the work of justice. We all know those phrases and many of us use them. It requires intention and attention to know, as honestly as we can, the truth of our lives. But there's a place beyond the work, where love and grace abide. We know it with the sharp intake of our breath, when we tell the truth of our lives and others know and bless that truth. We know it with the tears that sometimes come when silence moves us toward acceptance. This could have been what Jesus meant when he said that the kingdom of God is already here, available for each of us, waiting to be born into this world through our lives. But being in the right place at the right time and knowing it doesn't seem to be happen every day. That right place at the right time experience is part of being whole, complete, satisfied. But is it there for people other than saints and Buddhists? Glimpses of wholeness are not exclusive to the church. They come in 12-step programs for some, or practicing Tai Chi, listening to music, or walking in the woods for others. And all these can offer illusions of the mystery that feels the beating of our heart's echo and amplifies the pulse of the world. But the church is where we promise to make ourselves more available to them, to seek out those glimpses and to allow them to come call us into living as we wish to live, and where the lives of others lift us toward that vision. In the wilderness of responsibilities, of failures of energy and of nerve, in the face of tyranny of the to-do list, we choose to follow the path where we have glimpsed wholeness before. And even if what we find is just a memory of wholeness, it somehow sustains us. Wholeness can come from the journey and the purpose. Sometimes our journey is unclear, and our purpose is less than inspiring. And we rarely get more than a glimpse of wholeness once in a while to sustain us on our journey. Maybe that's what they call faith, a belief that grace will come as we answer the call to take one more step forward. You'll hear that call sometimes in your life, the call to journey further, to spread our kind of love, just take a step forward. I pray that you and I both get the power to answer that call, to go further, to spread our vision of wholeness. And I encourage you to listen this week to find out who or what calls you. Peace. May we sing number 86.